Hi, I'm Dan. I just thought I'd do an update to my channel because we have a 2020 GeoPro 19FD. And I'm here at the Fall RV Show in Tampa, Florida, and they have the brand new 2024 GeoPro 19FD. So I thought I'd go through all the upgrades and changes so I can see what's different between the model we have, which is now 4 years old, 3.5 years old, and what they put in the brand new ones. They're very similar, but there is some important changes. So follow me and we go through some of them.
We'll start with the outside of the camper. The front has the glass front window that they introduced the year after ours. Not a big fan because I think it's just something that's going to break with road debris, but I guess people like to be able to see outside. This one also has the optional bike rack on the front, which we didn't add to our RE. Underneath that is the front power jack, which is very similar to the one we have, a little bit updated. It has a light on the front, and the up and down switch is a little bit more modern, but very similar. Also, the propane containers in the same space, so a little bit modern cover, but about the same, and the battery box in the same location. You have a convenience light at the front that's got a much fancier switch than the one we had on ours. And it lights up around the front of the camper. All the latches have changed to slam latches now, which is nice. And the pass-through storage is the same. You see here we got the table, outdoor table, as well as you can see in the box back there, the griddle that goes on the side. So those are very similar to the ones we have in our model. There's a lockable slam latch to the front left side storage container and the other side of the pass-through. The stove vent is the exact same model, and down this other side we have the freshwater fill, the exact same as our model, and the power connection. You notice there's no outdoor shower on this side anymore. The waste connection's in the same space. They changed it a little bit because you can see the black tank handle is now behind. So I'm assuming they moved the location of the black tank, or the gray tank handle is on the outside. The freshwater tank handle is in the same position, so obviously the freshwater tank is still over the axle. It's the best space for all that weight if you're driving. The stabilizer are much more beefy. They're still manual, but those are much more beefy. Look like a lot more stable than the ones we had. The back outdoor fill-up area is about the same, and you see the outdoor shower here on the back corner, which has a pressure washing hose that goes in this outlet right here rather than being permanently riled up, which I do like better than ours. The outside built-in ladder is the same, as well as the connection for the Fury and backup camera. The back storage container is very different because it's the back of the sink, because they moved the sink. We'll cover that when we go inside. But you can see here, there's some storage here, but you have access to the connections to the back of the sink there. So that's nice, but less storage. There's the water heater in the same location. We also have the outdoor power connections, which are the same as in the version we have. And you have the LP Quick Connect there for the griddle and any other outdoor accessories you want to hook to the propane. See, the tires and suspension are very similar to the ones we have with the motorized suspension and nitrogen-filled tires with TPS. You can see here, this is the feature list of the new GeoPro. Most of them are the same. One thing I like is the additional 200 watts of solar power that comes with it, and it also has heated tanks. So if you go in cold weather, they have two heaters, one for the black and one for the gray. They still haven't fixed the problem where you can't open the shade or lower the shade from inside the camper with the door closed. You have to open it, remove the screen, and then pull the shade down, which is kind of irritating. I wish they'd do something about that. Inside, you see we have this new cabinets for the sink. They've moved the toilet to the center of the room and got rid of that large storage area they used to have there. And now we have a cupboard here and the sink on the back wall, the left side. There's a little storage cabinet here, but the actual cabinet underneath is blocked off because it's actually the outside storage area. So that one's a little bit of a downer, but you do have more room in front of your toilet, and you have the same sink cabinet. The same cabinet that used to be behind the sink is now just on the wall. So at least when you're sitting on the toilet, you have more leg room than you did in the version we have. The shower has changed to just a regular shower. There's no longer that little midi tub, but other than that, the shower compartment's pretty much the same with the water saver feature and the little bag to put your toiletries and the skylight, which for somebody tall like me, that's a big benefit. They also changed the shower to be a sliding kind of a plastic door, but it bows out, so you have more elbow room when you're in the shower. So that part is kind of a neat upgrade. The TV is much larger. That's a big complaint about the 2024 is how small the TV is. They've moved it down on the wall, so it's below the GoPro solar power converter, but it's much larger. Same cabinets above the dinette, and as you can see, you can put something large in there. If you open up all the cabinets, they're actually one big long channel. The dinette's very similar, but it no longer has the drawer under the dinette because they put the heater under the dinette. Other than that, it's very similar to the version we have, where you take the table off, you can see it's got a power outlet right there, but that side is the heater now, so no storage. The other side is just like in the version we have. It has the water heater, and then you can see the tube there for the actual heater under the seat to heat the bathroom. So no storage under the dinette really anymore. The fridge is very nice. It's a 12-volt compressor fridge, so you don't have to worry about the propane fridge taking forever to heat up. It also has a latch to keep the door closed when you're traveling. I don't know if it's larger or not, but it looks good size. But it's 12-volt compressor, so you can run it off battery, especially if you have the lithium upgrade package, and it'll cool down much faster than the propane. The gas stove is still a 3-burner gas stove, although I know some of the bottles of GeoPros had an actual stove below the cooktop, but most of them didn't. This one seems to be standard. You get a cooktop and an oven with a light. Above the stove is the same power vent that we had in our version, which has got the light and the outdoor fan. The sink is larger than the one that came with us. If you watch my channel, you see I replaced our sink with an even larger sink, but now it comes standard with a much better sink, that was one of the biggest problems with the old GeoPro, is that the sink was way too tiny. Have the same extension board, though, to give you more prep area that pops out. And the other nice thing is because the heater's not under the sink, you get 3 full drawers. The version we had only had 2 drawers, and the one drawer is only a half drawer. So that gives you more storage there, even though you miss the places under the dinette. You still have the storage area under the stove, which is a pretty good size. You can put pots and pans under there. Under the fridge is still the same fuse box with power converter and CO2 detector. The cabinets next to the bed are the same style and version as the ones we have in ours. Same with the little table next to each side of the bed. The reclining sofa is very similar. We have the same egress window on the left side. Once again, the cabinets. There's the switch for the inverter and a USB charging port. The recliners on each side of the couch have the same problem as our model in that when you pull the tab, it doesn't always come out. You have to reach down and get it started because it kind of catches on the floor. They also don't have the little table on each side anymore. The jackknife works the same to get the bed down. Same 2 latches to hold the Murphy bed up. And when you bring it down, it latches the same way. To undo it, you still have to pull the little latch to unlock it so it doesn't go up, and then put it back into storage and latch it back up. You'll notice it doesn't have the little side tables that go on little poles anymore onto the couch. I guess people didn't use those very much. Still takes a bit of hip action to get the couch back in place. Comes with the Winegard omnidirectional TV antenna and 5G antenna on the roof. So you don't have to rotate it like you did with our model. Now that really changed the year after ours. It was omnidirectional, but it's a nice feature to have. No more rotating to find the TV stations. Another cool new feature is it now has a single thermostat control for both heating and cooling. So you don't have to touch the air conditioning unit to turn the temperature, and you can set a specific temperature that you want, and the air conditioner will come on whenever it needs to below that temperature, just like the heater does. You can hear it come on now when I adjust the setting after a few seconds. Last, let's talk about the cool new camper control panel right by the front door. It's a much more modern version of the control panel we have in our camper, although the functionality is very similar. On the top left, we have 3 tank levels. They have fresh water, black water, and gray water, and they're full, 2/3, 1/3, or empty based on the lights. And on the right-hand side, we have the battery, charged, good, fair, and poor. Then we have the lights. We have the awning light, the step lights, and interior lights. Underneath that, we have the button to turn on the gas water heater or electric water heater, the water pump, and the tank heaters. It's kind of cool that they have tank heaters on this. I don't know if that's an option or not, but it's kind of nice if you go into the cold weather and you're worried about your tanks freezing up. Then we have the awning slide, retract and extend, and the actual slide. If you have a camper with a slide, the 19FD does not have a slide, so that probably does nothing. But a nice thing about this is you can actually connect it to your phone via Bluetooth, and then you have a control panel on your phone that you can do all that functionality on your phone. So that's a big step up from the version we have. Okay, that covers everything that changed in the 2024 19FD
from the 2020 and a half that we have are all the previous models. These are the upgrades over 4 years, so not all of them are brand new to this unit, but the changes that happened in the last 3.5 years. Overall, I think they've done some great improvements to it. I still think this is probably the best small camping trailer you can purchase. Price has gone up since I bought mine, but it's still, I think, a very good value camper. One of the things I really like about it is the fact that they've increased the amount of solar you can get on the roof. I mean, it's an optional package, but I think it's well worth the package to 3 200-watt solar panels and a 200 amp hours of lithium-ion batteries come in the upgraded package, plus the higher wattage inverter. I think that would be a great thing if you were doing harvest host or boondocking anywhere. Also with the self-start AC unit, it would be a game changer. You could run the AC. Mine, I don't have a soft start. I don't have that much solar, so we can't spend a long time in a harvest host or boondocking. Now, granted, harvest hosts are usually just overnight. Those are really great. Actually, overall, I'd like to do like Matt's our review, where we give 3 things we like and 3 things we didn't like. Okay, so the 3 things I really liked about this camper. 1, I like that they've changed the shower to where it's just a normal shower. You can just step right in. I know some people used to like the tub. They could put little children there or dogs, wash their dogs in there. But to me, I don't have kids, and if they're not small enough to take on a camper with me. And if you're going to wash your pet, well, you can use the outdoor shower. So it's much nicer. You don't have to step over that lid every time you have to get into the shower. I also like the new curtain where it's bound out. Now, you could replace the curtain rod in the earlier models of FDs, but the fact that it's already built in with that expanded curtain area, I really like that, because if you're bigger like me and you want to be able to move your arms more, having that extra space is a big difference. And the third thing I really like about it is I really like the new fridge. I think having a 12-volt fridge, especially we got expanded lithium battery and solar, is a real game changer, because when you have the propane fridge like we have, oftentimes it takes a long time to get cold. In fact, people always say, the fridge is not working, it won't get cold. It takes a long time for it to get cold when you're running off propane. That's why we put frozen water bottles and ice packs in there when we leave on the camping trip to make it cold to begin with. But with a 12-volt compressor fridge, it'll cool down like a normal fridge would. So I think that'll make a big difference too. So those are 3 things I really, really like about this new model. I do also like the improved outdoor shower with the little hose that you hook on, and it's in the back corner instead of on the far side of the camper. Because normally when you're camping, you're on the door side. That's the camp side of the camper, it's usually called. And having the shower on the other side was kind of irritating. You're going to go over to the other person's campsite and shower. Having it in the back corner with a pressure hose you can actually bring around to the front is really nice when you want to use the hose and hose off your feet or wash something off. It's just nice to be on your campsite of the camper. So there's actually 4 there. 3 things we didn't like. I know that the improvement to the bathroom, to where the toilet is now it's faced a different way and you have more legroom in front. I mean, if you watch my video series, you know that was the biggest complaint I had with the 19FD, was how there was no legroom in front of the toilet. So I really think that is an upgrade, but the downside is that big storage area. I really like it in the 19FD, and it's gone now, especially with the cabinet underneath. As I showed, there's nothing really in there. I know you got some upper shelves, but I like the way we did it, where if you watch my video, I took the cabinet out, the little sink cabinet, and made it smaller so that we have more room in front of our toilet without having to lose the storage cover. But given they're not going to do that, I do think it's a shame that you've lost that big cabinet, because that was one of the greatest features of the FD. Second thing I didn't like about it is that they haven't improved this situation, where next to the couch, you've got 120-volt AC on the one side and a USB power on the other. They should really do both on both sides, because you and your spouse or whoever's sitting in the couch, one of you can charge by USB, which if you're sitting with a laptop, you can't do that. And one can charge by AC. It would be better if it was the same on both sides. I don't think it would be that big. In fact, I changed mine to where it did have USB and power within reach of that side. But that would be a no-brainer upgrade to me. So that's the second thing I didn't think that they improved on. And the third thing I didn't really like about it is the microwave. I always thought that microwave was a bit small for the camper. They've got the room to make a bigger microwave. They made a bigger TV, and that's another thing I liked, was a big TV. But they really should do a better job with the microwave. When we're camping, now granted, we don't boondock that much, but when we're camping, we use the microwave a lot more than we use the stove. And having the oven would be, I don't know. I mean, some people use it. I probably wouldn't use it that much, but we use the microwave quite often. I mean, yeah, I should grill outside if I'm a real camper, but you know, when you pull in the campground, you want to heat up something, microwaves to go. And it's a very small microwave. You can really take not much room for it. Plus it's up high to begin with. So it's not the greatest microwave. So that's the 3 things I don't like about it. Okay. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like or subscribe to my channel, but otherwise, thanks for watching.